Hi, this is Mike Fry with No Kill Learning and Just One Day here for our daily live stream as we count down till June 11th, a day of no kill across the United States. And today I'm doing it a little bit differently. We are streaming live. The countdown that you see above my head is live, coming to you from the Just One Day website. But today I've pre-recorded this inset video because I've got a special message that's going to be a little different than our normal Just One Day message. You know, typically we've worked very hard at Just One Day to make it an open invitation to celebrate a new way of sheltering in the United States. We've avoided any sort of negative messaging, any sort of controversy. It's all about opening our shelters up, embracing our community, and inviting shelters to try something new for just one day. But today, I'm going to break from that tradition just a little bit, and I'm going to talk a little about while we've had tremendous support and tremendous numbers of shelters, large numbers of shelters all over the United States, some of the largest municipal shelters in the country actually signing up to participate in Just One Day, there's still many that haven't. And in the last week or so, I've gotten messages from a couple of them, and I'd like to talk about them. It's kind of the same message that they all continually repeat. And they say, for example, that the no-kill movement is divisive, so they won't participate in Just One Day because, quote, no-kill is divisive. So I'd like to break that down just a little bit and talk about what I believe is actually happening. Because, in fact, I don't believe the no-kill movement is divisive. I think, in fact, if you look at the communities that have achieved no-kill, they're some of the most celebrated communities in the United States. The fighting that occurs between the animal welfare advocates and the animal shelters almost universally disappears. Of course, there's always some complainers in every group, but by and large, the large public, challenging conversations that take place leading up to the transition to no-kill, that all goes away once the killing in the animal shelters stops. And it's obviously rational why that is, because it's actually the killing of animals in shelters that is divisive. And decades ago, many people were unaware what was happening in their animal shelters, and so shelters could, kill with immunity. They did for, hundreds of years without a lot of public outcry. But as soon as people got informed and began exercising their constitutional rights to advocate and become voices for animals in those shelters, of course a struggle came about. That's natural. Social change in all of its forms requires some struggle, because there are those people in every social change movement that resist the change. And I would argue, therefore, that what is really divisive, what is really driving the kind of angry tone and conversation in communities that have not yet achieved no-kill, is the fact that there are people in shelters who are resisting it, who are still killing, who are making excuses for killing, and they're willing to make excuses to the point where even a day of celebration and life-saving like Just One Day can be an excuse for continuing what they're doing. They just want to put it off, say it's divisive, I'm not even going to try it for one day. I'm just going to put my head down and keep killing animals because you all are divisive. On the face of it, it is misleading, and in a way, it's sort of attacking the people who have nothing to gain in the no-kill movement. I don't know anybody who's getting rich off the no-kill movement. I don't know any rescue group who's getting rich saving lives. So what the shelters who are saying that are really doing is, you people who want to save lives, you people who want to be the voice of animals, shut up, because when you talk, you're being divisive. And of course, the killing of animals, that entire conversation from those shelters making those excuses is divisive. So I'll just say this one more time. I invite you to come play. If you're a shelter who has not yet taken the pledge, at justoneday.ws. If you're on the board of directors, if you're in senior leadership, if you're a city administrator somewhere that oversees a shelter in your community, and you've yet to sign up at justoneday.ws to try a new way of animal sheltering in the United States, maybe you haven't thought about it, or maybe you're just regurgitating excuses for continuing to do what you've been doing for years. And I would argue, if that's what you're doing, the fight in your community is likely to continue. And that's on you. It's not on the public that is, exercising their constitutional right to advocate for a new way of sheltering at your facility. So if you want to set that aside, and if you want to begin the healing the divisions within the animal welfare world in your community, the way you can get started is to go to justoneday.ws and take the pledge. That's a friendly invitation, and I invite you to join the party, try a new way of operating, and stop blaming the people who want to save animals' lives. Thanks much, and thanks for watching.